You were speaking a bit before about nonprofits and the important roles that happen at that community level. And I'm wondering if you can say a bit more about how can communities implement better support programs? Like what can we do on the ground at the grassroots level that would
Mhm,
make a difference?
mhm. Um, so you may have gauged from many of my answers that I hold government accountable for a lot of this. And so I think communities can do lots, and I can speak more to that. And I'm wary of putting it on communities because I think the duty belongs to government. The responsibility belongs to our elected governments to whom we pay taxes, whose job it is to um, ensure that everyone who lives here has their human rights met, and housing is a human right. That said, communities, if we're talking more at the local level, that can be city level or smaller communities. I think one thing that communities can do is become more knowledgeable, or individuals in communities become more knowledgeable about the issues, um, understand uh, the complexity of homelessness, not engage in kind of NIMBY politics, not in my backyard stuff that happens, where it's just assumed that all homeless people um, are going to create trouble, and we don't want a shelter here, and that kind of thing. Like to recognize the humanity of everybody, whether they're homeless or not, um, and and ensure that there is space and resources. And there are wonderful community resources that exist already, that I've been lucky enough to encounter because of the research I've done. It's not enough. We still, like, we need housing. People need a decent wage. People, um, yeah, they need adequate health care. That said, like, the food banks in the Ottawa area are, well, I need to caveat this. I've only had the experience of accessing one on behalf of a young person I was working with. And it was a lovely, warm community kind of experience. I was really pleasantly surprised by that because there are a number of volunteers there where they're really warm and welcoming. And there was just, and you could see that, there were regulars, and they would chat with each other and say hello. And there was this guy handing out candy to all the kids. It was really lovely. And I think that whole, and I'm not saying every food bank is like that, I have no idea, but um, that kind of um, approach to providing, emergency supports, I think is really lovely. That destigmatizes it, and makes it a part of a community experience, rather than, yeah, a demoralizing or stigmatizing experience.